So welcome back to this ongoing meditation session. So as usual, we are all gathering here at this time to practice meditation. And a practice of a meditation is ongoing. It's not like a one-off. The more we do, the better we become. That doesn't mean that every day you have to develop one step ahead. It is not like you are walking on the stairs and every day you are stepping on a second, third, fourth and fifth like that. There is no linear development in the practice. It is a practice to understand and realize things the way it works and how we perceive. And the more we become aware of these states, awareness of these mental and physical state, we will be able to deal with a different situation that we come across. An ability to comprehend that nothing is permanent. Whatever we experience now is basically just for the temporarily happening here and now. Although our mind is always thinking about the past or worrying about the future, we are always thinking in this moment, here and now. We are thinking about the past but not living in the past. Similarly, we are worrying about the future but not in the future. We are in the present moment. And everything is happening in this moment. And as we know that our life is a combination of the mind and the body, and rest of other things are just the components or factors making us to feel comfortable. And in this combination, a mind which is very subtle to see, subtle to understand, which hasn't got the face, the form or a color, very hard to keep it in the present moment. But whereas this substance or this body made out of the four elements always remains in the present moment. And having said that, although it remains in the present moment but not the same entity in the present moment, it is changing too. So every moment body changes, every moment our mind changes. And all experiences that we experience also changes too. But we tend to remain in the past. We tend to exaggerate from the past in the future, but forgot that what we are doing here and now, in the present moment. And the practice of a meditation helps you to react every action that you are performing now in a very skillful and a mindful way, that you don't have to repent or regret in the future, because whatever in the future is what you do now. So, in the practice of a meditation, that is why you do not try to have similar or the same experiences again and again. And do not cling onto the same experience that you had. Do not desire to have it at all. It's like when there is a flood, a river will be overflown. And anything that comes along the river, you will have no thought of going and grabbing it, because the current of the flood is so fast that it will take your life. And similarly, in the practice of a meditation, whatever comes and whatever you have experienced, do not go and cling on to it. Let them go, let them pass. The very moment when you cling on to, the very moment when you want to grasp or cling on to, then it will take you away. So, with this in mind, let's practice meditation. Sitting in a comfortable position, and relax both the mind and the body. Connect yourself with this sitting body. I often use the simile of imagining that you are sitting in front of the mirror and looking at your sitting body and checking whether you are sitting comfortably or not, upright or not, or any tensions are there or not. If you are having any tensions, simply move around. Wiggle around your hands, your legs, or your body, and adjusting yourself in a comfortable position. And consciously making a vow that throughout this time you will try not to move as you could possible. And again, if you really need it, then you can move it with a mindfulness. In life, we have succeeded bearing so much pain, so much disappointment, so much difficulties. And when we practice meditation, these are small aches and pains and discomforts. Why letting these to bother? It is time to practice. So, the very moment when we keep our body still, mind begins to tremble. Mind begins to shake, like a fish looks for the water when it's out of the water. And that's how we train our mind. And this is how it takes place whenever we have troubles and disappointments, anger, stress, and anxiety. So, making a conscious decision not to move and watching all those sensations. And see that when you are watching those feelings, those pains, what happens? What happens in your mind? What happens? Those pains and feelings. We are practicing meditation to clean our mind. So that's why do not simply seek only the relaxation of the body and the mind. Find ways to operate the mind itself. And this operation only possible when you physically do not move and watch that feelings, the discomfort, pain, all the sensations. Without that, you cannot operate. That's why sensations or feelings are like we are going into the operation hall, theater. And as a awareness, as a doctor, you are operating yourself. So rather than moving around or changing your posture whenever you feel discomfort, see that what happens with this and what happens with your change. And that's how you operate your mind. And you will be able to see your another layer of mind, which is beyond the conventional world. In a conventional world, we are always corrupted, wanting to have, wanting to get, and lazy to do this, lazy to do that, and not taking responsibilities that we are responsible for, and these sort of things. And simply because of the ego, and because of the comfort, or because of the craving that we have. But the more you practice and operate your mind by not moving, not changing, you will realize the inner mind, or known as inner consciousness. Become a subtle, humble, become a more aware in day-to-day life. Whatever you do, whatever you are doing, you become a more conscious about others' affair, others' safety, others' well-being. You concern about wish they can practice together too, wish they can find a way and practice like that. And that's simply because you are operating and you see the inner qualities. Until then, we become a very selfish, only for us, negligence. Whatever we want to do, wherever we want to keep, we do that without thinking of others' affairs, others' safety, others' comfort. Like coming into the temple is a good example. When you're coming to the temple, do not think that only for you. Think of fellow other members who are coming. How you can make them feel comfortable, how you can make them feel welcoming. And that comes from your heart, humbleness that you have understood. So this operation is really needed to see that there is no differences between one another. We see others in different ways simply because of our thoughts, in a conventional or worldling thoughts, on the basis of what we think I am, what we think they are, because we are occupied by greed, hatred. We take those identities and histories, take control over us and making a differences. We are living in the conventional worldling life. So practice of a meditation is to operate in that layer and see the inner layer, which is more common to all. And this inner layer, we overcome the thoughts. We see the cause of these thoughts and become more conscious about our own self and then others. So, whenever there is a pain, whenever there is a different sensations, whenever your mind is too restless, then that's the moment. Watch them, know them, without moving, without opening your eyes, without giving up practice during this designated time schedule. Pursuing urgently. So only then you will get progress. You will understand the essence of the practice. So continue practicing until you hear the gong. Those who just joined in, again, if you have an intention to continue practicing, simply sit comfortably and watch the breath and station. Do not change and see what happens, what the nature takes place. So continue practicing in this way, in which you will realize that it takes a lot of effort, a lot of dedication, determination, and continuation, more patience. So continue practicing in this way. Aware of the breath, and when any other sensations or pain or discomfort arise, see what happens without moving. Operating, think of operating your own mind through this eyes of sensation. Bring your attention to your body. We're going to practice loving kindness meditation. So aware of a bodily sensation into your hands, into your heart, and generating loving kindness and compassion to yourself. May I be well, may I be happy, may I be at peace, may I be free from suffering, may I be liberated. Similarly, sharing loving kindness and compassion to all other sentient beings, starting from near dear one. Whatever beings there are, visible and invisible beings in this room, in this city, in this country, on earth, in the universe. May they be well, may they be happy, may they be safe, may they be free from suffering, may they be free from hurtfulness and hatred, may they be able to maintain their happiness. And as you hear the gong slowly coming out from meditation, let's pay respect.